stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful. You're like that Spectrum potato chip, unruffled. Your skills would have been wasted in a corporate lab. You had a hand in everyone's pocket. At least you're not claustrophobic. Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 10%. Its drive is
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All of the colonists are counting on you.
Should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Investigating an illegally grounded ship. All spacecraft must arrive and depart from authorized landing pads. That's board law, that is. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? Edgewater's a little ways. The Hope? Is that some? Don't take this the wrong way.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech! Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable... Plunder. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jetstream procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay. Yeah, fair point. I'll let it go this time. If you're looking to help us out with our Marauder problem, talk to Constable Reyes over in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report. This is gonna take a lot of paper.
Not just anyone is chosen to enforce landing regulations, you know? I had to fill out 4...
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Auto. When the swarm is... Go on. You ever see... Mechanical... First... I've been gathering up... Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to... They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard. The scout must not be permitted to return to its base. Mechanical's got a weak spot in there.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics. Spacer's choice remines.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike. Cantina. Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanic. On the double, soldier.
You're safer inside the walls.
Something got you down?
Latest report.
Bring us honor, soldier. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit. You ever want to see a mechanic? Fun. This ain't... Time's come for you to journey down. Unfortunately, the old... I need you to get us the brain of a mechanic. There's the rub. If you die...
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one.
Miss Holcomb, I'm afraid of the rest.
The grease monkey. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose. I'm afraid I can't spare the workers. We're strapped for bodies as it is. And there is a small element of personal danger. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly, the people living... Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by... Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time... Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Don't make me report you to Mr. Thompson.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways. Sure, on my way. I'm not allowed in here.
Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
Absolutely. I'll keep my hands in my pockets. I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Music to my ears.
Your rations yet?
Yep.
I'm going. Coming. I used to skip rocks in the river until Constable Reyes ticketed me for unlicensed terraforming. I think she was jealous. She don't know how to skip rocks her own self. Easy. Here we go. I always wanted to poke around in here. Something you need? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division. Her contract said it... Well, I don't know. It's sensible. You mean, why? There was a... Not intent. I've always been good with... So I... Well, sure. Right about then, a bunch... And Mr. Thompson... Anyhow... Exploded. I was just shy of working. I can laugh about it now. Mr. Thompson said to talk with Miss McDevitt before doing anything here?
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on ya. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Well, look at you, buzzing around the Aether with your very own ship. No, I'm sorry. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the... Could be. Marauder gang just moved into... Vex me. Little ways ago. It's not like Zoe to go... Can't imagine where she's gone. Hell. Could do without the...
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? Are you staying long? A home for anyone who's ever turned so like this. It is the home. No, dear. The garden, but the soil around the veil. The secret recipe. Read Tubbs. Let's hear it. Like everything else there. He would do such... Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out. If you're going down to the plant, think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of... You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father...
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear. It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company, all anyone ever does is toy. So, what do you say? I trust you will listen. Anything else I can do? I am getting old, you know. These two... My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe. Me and mine are just... More of the colony felt the way you did. We'd have our... I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then... Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a guard. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that. That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. I could not possibly care less if he does, but you're surely welcome to ask him. I'm listening. That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are, but we must remember that this is the old botanical lab in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head... That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from? Is that a new settlement of some kind? Oh dear, I see what's happening. You ought to try some of my Maybe I do. Listen, no, but the board may... You carry on about coming here. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Fancy duds. Do the tubes get it? You mean Zoe? Zoe and I were gonna... You sound like some... Zoe was always upset. Shame she up... The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting... She called it Hey, I got... Fresh off...
put those marauders in the dirt quicker than the masked marketeer. Teach me your ways. What? You mean you, on the other... Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I'll take my stuff and head on back. No. I may have I don't know. Oh, you mean around the... I got kicked out of Edge. I'd heard some out... Instead, I've got all the time... Stand and deliver! Always wanted to say that. Yeah, huh?
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway? Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. You pretty much did my job for me. Let me know if I can do...
Had your rations yet?
You think corporate's ever gonna be? I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fent and Ms. Holcomb as well.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, I can't imagine. That seems well within your expertise.
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others. The ones who left.
Adelaide McDevitt's encampment. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our... Does that strike you? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power... Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind... Barely escape. If you manage to acquire it... I just want to keep the writing out of... On the contrary. I can assure you, Glad we see eye to eye. It's a handwritten journal. Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... What the fuck is this? It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French! Well, I've spent my... I became so desperate. Bokonu, the author, had some... Unfortunately, he... The story of my... I had... And... Philosophism, but most of the... But that's neither here. You have a ship. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money. I'm pretty handy with a toss... Oh, I'm... Well, understanding computers... Of course. But instead... Fantastic.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad... I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to...
Something you need? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe... Real machines have gunked up. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never... Fixing the universe is a job for somebody... Wish I could. In a jiff. That's clever. Nicely done. Don't mess it up. switches. That'll be easy enough. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale?
Self-diagnostics complete. It's not the best. Hostile actions towards Spacer's choice in compliance with... Affirmative. Entering standby mode. Oh, wait. Affirmative. Entering. All systems full.
Not real. You're not real. Get away! Get away! You're not real. You're not real. Go away, Phantom.
Mind the theme. You're liable to get scalded. Don't mess with me. Dang, that's impressive. Let's go. If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
Go away, Phantom! No, just leave me alone! You're not real! You're not real! Get... You can talk? The Phantom... See? Clearly I mistook you for... Chester D... Oh, Higgins is... I've come a long way. I specialize in automechanicals. Look, I don't want to... You know, you remind me of myself. I discovered a... Yes, that's exact. There's a behavior control... Oh. The tail. Jimmy'd open... Mechanicals lost... I was on...
Left. I'm not sure what the right is. All I know is the decision's final. once we do this, there's the... Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order. Sorry, can't do that.
Maybe Adelaide was right to leave.
Desertion? Oh, it's you. Reed told me I should be expecting. As a Spacer's Choice constable, even during times of know how to carry yourself in a... Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just one per marauder, please. As long as your question... His likeness decorate... I am obliged... I am also... I am obliged to remind... Wells has been wanted. Unfortunately, Wells is wanted by... Any information? Halcyon's something else like...
Some sort of freelancer?
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a... I never knew how right... You're right. Whatever you were hoping... All right, easy now. Let's not... I'll order my guards to stand... Stand down.
When I was little...
Town's been dark a while now. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. So this... I would reward you with a...
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are... Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but I want to ask you something, and if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back. Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain. Yeah, huh?
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room. As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Bakonu, the unfortunate philosophisms of, but most of... I've been thinking on that. He's also who... Oh, I'm anything but... We should start. All I need... I'll comb the last 6... Before I transfer, I meditate. Thank you, Captain. I could so. Nothing too out of the... that's what I grew up. I was destined to... On the they internal... I envy that. They thought I would... The simple everything... The answer... The plan is not... Some choices... It's like an... I've run head... What about you? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem... That seems a danger... A commendable...
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without... What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how... Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude... Our engine room is located... What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities. have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about it. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, Oh, that, yes. What you saw in Emerald Vale. The Hope has some of the brightest minds. You need to get to Stellar Bay. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the ground break. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed. Captains don't fly. The boards... Gladys and I... Without a skip... Look, I admire... None of us are Excellent, I'll send... By the way, I call it the... Marvelous device. I'm quite... It has limits. Very simply... Only stands up to... Best used... Maintain your dis... The holographic shroud... Activate the dis... Excellent. And remember, the board's only...
Transmission ended. Make yourself at home, Captain. If I have to listen to one more bloody tossball tournament, I will go mad. Or short circuit, rather.
Yeah, so I was looking for cozy liking. That's in pretty good shape considering how hard the Block 2 designs.
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's.
So you're gonna call her it?
Though my voice is currently pitched.
Hello! I am not a...
Speech recognition is...
You're not simulating it, you're doing it!
I am gratified you can say... I am at your disposal, Miss
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at it. You can do that, you know. Mostly, yeah. He meant funny. It's not normal when well, I'm good at... There's times I'm working... Anyhow, I was... Yep, Nothing much. I'd noticed straight away. About a year. Dad never said that he... Oh, gosh.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How can I... The unit is a cleaning... Alex likely recorded. If you check the terminal in your cap... What part of the colony? Ah, yes. There is a bound... I shall happily... Welcome back, Captain. How... I have lots... I prefer... When I simulate... Fortunately for... Do you know what it... As you may be aware, in our travels together... If you mean... How can... Certainly, Cap. What would you like to hear? As you wish. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cap.